Carlos asked, "How many people did you kill?" Pablo answered, "I don't know, but I don't know how many people I saved either." That answer stopped Carlos. For 3 years, Pablo Escobar was a monster, an enemy, someone who needed to be destroyed. But that answer changed everything. And that night, Carlos went home and cried for the first time in 3 years. Because when you realize your enemy is human, everything becomes harder. But first, let's go back to the beginning of the story. If you're enjoying this story, we post new Pablo Escobar stories every single day. So hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of them. Now, to understand how a 3-year chase ended with a 2-minute conversation, we need to go back to the beginning of that night. December 2nd, 1993, Medellin. Detective Carlos Muñoz had been living for one man for 3 years, Pablo Escobar. Carlos was one of Search Bloc's best detectives, smart, determined, ruthless. But Pablo was always one step ahead, always escaping, always disappearing somehow. In these 3 years, Carlos lost many things. His wife left. Because Carlos wasn't home anymore, his mind was always on work. His daughter grew up, he couldn't see it. His friends gave up because Carlos only talked about one thing: Pablo Escobar. Every morning when he came to the office, and he looked at the photo on his desk, Pablo's photo, and every morning he told himself, today I'll find you. And today, December 2nd, 1993, he finally found him. Intelligence had come in. Pablo was at a small house in the Los Olivos neighborhood. He was making a family call on the radio. They had caught the signal. Location had been traced. Carlos surrounded the house with his team. His heart was pounding. 3 years, 1,095 days. And now, that moment had come. "Are you ready?" he asked his team. "Ready," they said. Carlos took a deep breath, walked to the door, kicked it. The door opened. They went inside. Guns ready, fingers on triggers. And Carlos froze. Pablo Escobar was sitting at the table, phone in hand. He had stopped talking when he heard the sound. Now he was looking at Carlos, calm, tired, incredibly tired. "Hands up," Carlos shouted. Pablo slowly put down the phone, raised his hands, didn't move, didn't try to run, just looked. Carlos's team surrounded the house, cleared the corners. Nobody else was there, just Pablo. Carlos approached Pablo, gun still in hand, but something was stopping him. Pablo's eyes. These weren't the eyes he expected. No fear, no anger, just exhaustion, a deep exhaustion. Carlos slowly lowered his gun, turned to his team. "Outside, I'll handle this." The team was surprised but left. Carlos and Pablo were alone. Silence. Carlos pulled out a chair, sat across from Pablo. The two looked at each other. 3 years. And he had been searching for this man for 3 years. Hundreds of files, thousands of questions, dozens of dead friends, all leading to this moment. Carlos wanted to speak, but he didn't know what to say. All the words he had planned, all the accusations he had prepared, had vanished. Finally, he just asked, "How many people did you kill?" Pablo looked at him, thought about it. "I don't know." He paused, then added, "But I don't know how many people I saved either." Carlos froze. He wasn't expecting this answer. "Saved? You?" Pablo nodded. "I built the schools in Medellin. I built the soccer fields. Hundreds of families ate because of me. Their children went to school because of me." He paused. "Nobody writes about this. They only write about who I killed." Carlos leaned forward. "Because the people you killed were innocent. Or they were police officers, journalists, judges. Yes, Pablo said. He didn't get defensive, just accepted it. Yes, I killed many people, and I see them every night. Carlos was surprised. What? I can't sleep, Pablo said in a calm voice. Every night, for years. When I close my eyes, I see their faces. I don't know their names, but I see their faces. Carlos couldn't respond. Pablo continued. You think I'm a monster. Everyone thinks so. Maybe you're right. Maybe I really am a monster. But I didn't want to be a monster. I just wanted to be powerful. I wanted to stop the things that nobody could do to us. Who is us? Carlos asked. The poor, Pablo said. I came from the poor neighborhoods of Medellin. The government didn't see us. The rich were crushing us. I just wanted to be powerful. But power changes you. It changes you without you realizing. Silence. Carlos looked at the table. There was a photo on it. Pablo's family. Maria, Juan Pablo, Manuela. Do you miss your family? Carlos asked. Pablo's eyes filled with tears. For the first time, there was a crack in that hard face. Every minute, every breath. When did you last see them? 3 months ago, Pablo said. His voice trembled. My daughter, Manuela, is growing up. I can't make up for every day I missed. Carlos felt something unexpected. Empathy. He had spent 3 years hating this man. And now he understood him. He didn't want to understand, but he did. Are you sorry? Carlos asked. Pablo didn't answer for a long time, looked outside through the window at Medellin's lights. He loved his city, always had. Am I sorry? He repeated. For those I killed, yes, every single one. But for wanting to be powerful, no. Because this world shows no mercy to the powerless. Carlos stood up, took out the handcuffs. Pablo extended his hands, didn't resist. As Carlos put on the handcuffs, Pablo said something. Carlos stopped. He was surprised Pablo knew his name. Yes? Spend time with your family. I couldn't. And now it's too late. Carlos's hands trembled. He put on the handcuffs but couldn't say anything. Pablo stood up, walked to the door, stopped, spoke without turning. You spent 3 years for me. You stole that time from your family? Take it back. Because I can't take mine back. And he walked out. Carlos stayed there, in that empty room, alone. And that night, for the first time in 3 years, he cried. Because when your enemy becomes human, the taste of victory turns to bitterness. Detective Carlos Muñoz went home early that evening. When he opened the door, his daughter came running. He hugged her, tightly, and never let go again. Pablo Escobar was caught that day. But on the same day, another man was freed. Carlos Muñoz. From 3 years of obsession, 3 years of hatred, 3 years of loss. Because sometimes your greatest enemy teaches you your greatest lesson. And that lesson is this: time doesn't come back. Every day you don't spend with your family, you can never live again. No matter how powerful, how rich, how famous you are. Pablo Escobar had everything, but he couldn't give time to his family. And at the end of his life, he would have given everything for that time. Carlos Muñoz learned this and never made that mistake again.